This is big breaking emergency news. Over 70% of gas stations are being reported as empty with no gas in certain cities in Florida right now. And this is happening at the same time that mass evacuations are happening. Millions of people are leaving, and there's also major gas shortages happening at the same time. And I'm telling you, the roads in Florida are packed right now. So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So this is being reported in multiple different cities right now in Florida. The governor has deployed the National Guard, and millions of people are being ordered to evacuate. Right now, we're having new updated evacuation orders as well due to this Hurricane Milton that is coming in. All right, this thing has reached Category 5 status today. All right, they're saying that 180-mile-an-hour sustained winds and wind gusts up to 220 miles per hour. This is insane, and this thing strengthened from a Category 1 to a Category 5 just within a few hours today. Insane what's going on right now, and Florida is bracing for impact. I'm worried personally, right? I'm in Florida, and I'm worried, and I have family directly in the path of this. So this is a live situation, and they're reporting that gas stations all across the state are having major shortages. All right, it's being reported here that over 70% of the gas stations right now in Fort Myers, Florida, are out of gas. This is according to Gas Buddy. Over 70% in Fort Myers, and this is right in the middle of the evacuation zone, right? Fort Myers is right on the water there, and they're expecting to get hit really hard. It says 55% of gas stations in Cape Coral, Florida are out of gas, according to Gas Buddy, right? And also over 15% of gas stations in Tampa and in St. Pete. And the major problem happening right now is that people are evacuating and leaving, and they can't even get enough gas to get out of the state. All right, they're saying that they're working on replenishing these areas that are low on gas right now, but this is going to continue for a while this hurricane happens. It's going to cut off resources for a few days. People are also reporting in Citrus County and Lake County major gas shortages. Naples, Florida, people are reporting gas shortages as well. Also, people are saying that there are gas limits on how much gas you can get a lot of places in Tampa right now to prevent them from being completely sold out. Right? They're already running out of gas. They are implementing limits. So $15 to $25 people are saying, and a lot of my truck, it takes $100 to fill it up. Right? So it's $25 is not enough. That's nothing. That's like driving my truck to the store 30 minutes away and back. I'm using $25 in gas, $20 in gas. That's not enough. All right. So gas limits are also being put in place right now, and rationing, and people are struggling. They're having to go to 3, 4, 5 different gas stations to find gas. And even more North Florida, even past Ocala, all right, people are reporting that there's gas shortages there too. All right, so make sure you guys are stocked up and have your tanks filled. All right, I just topped off my truck tank and our gas tanks as well recently because I knew the storm was coming. All right, let me know down below if you guys are seeing anything, and just hit it up down there too. It helps to get these warnings out. Also, this is a statement that has been issued by the governor and we also have more evacuation orders in more counties. All right, it's saying here Charlotte County, Citrus County, Collier County, Glades County, Hernando, Hillsborough County, Lee County, Manatee County, Okeechobee County, Pasco County, Pinellas, Sarasota, and Volusia County are all under mandatory evacuations of different levels. So if you are in these flood zones, specifically A, B, and C, in most areas they are evacuating. All right, and this is the statement from the governor here. He said that the Florida Emergency Management Agency is addressing more than 600 resource requests from communities in the storm's path. He said, "We are deploying trucks of food and water, ambulances, Starlinks, and more than 2,000 feet of flood protection systems to protect critical infrastructure in Central Florida and the Tampa Bay area. We are also amassing an additional 1.5 million gallons of fuel reserves and staging them to be utilized as needed." All right, so they're trying to get gas in there to alleviate these shortages. But right now, everyone's trying to leave, everyone's trying to fill up. So we are seeing these shortages, and the traffic is so bad right now. People are getting held up. It's holding up deliveries of trucks as well too. And he also went on to say that local officials and their vendors must continue clearing debris from Hurricane Helene as well before Hurricane Milton makes landfall. The state of Florida has marshaled unprecedented resources to help with the debris removal. The Division of Emergency Management and Florida Transportation and Florida National Guard and Florida State Guard and also the Florida Highway Patrol have been activated and deployed to aid in this mission. Nearly 9,000 cubic yards have been removed from the barrier islands of Pinellas County, and the work will continue as long as it's safe to do so. He also went on to say, as per my executive order, local landfill and dump sites must remain open 24/7 to safely dispose of debris from Hurricane Helene. All right. So they are still cleaning up a lot of these areas from the last hurricane, guys. That's what's going on in St. Pete and a lot of these outer islands, right, that people live on, and there's condos and apartments on, right? A lot of these places are still dealing with the devastation and the chaos. Some places had 2-3 feet of sand that came in with the storm surge, and they're still shoveling the sand out of the area. And there's entire blocks of just trash piled up all along the road, right? Still happening. And this stuff could start flying around and cause even more chaos once Hurricane Milton hits, right? And here is the most updated tracking for the hurricane as well too. So it is currently still in the Gulf of Mexico over here near the Yucatan Peninsula, and this is actually the 5th most powerful storm in the Atlantic Ocean history. All right, the Gulf of Mexico is still technically part of the Atlantic Ocean basin, and this is the 5th most powerful hurricane in history ever recorded in the Atlantic Ocean. All right, and this is where most of the hurricanes come from. All right, so it's essentially the 5th most powerful hurricane that we've seen, and it intensified to a category 5 today in one day, within hours. All right, I've been doing a bunch of stuff, getting ready. I had to get tire changed and a few other things, and I had to get a new tire, right? Because I replaced the other ones and didn't replace one of them, right? So it was just worn down and I had to replace it. And I'm trying to get this stuff done before the storm. And when I left, I was like, okay, it was only like a category 1 or 2, right? And by the time I got back and checked on this thing, it was saying category 5. All right, I was shocked. So this thing is rapidly intensifying. Right, the Gulf of Mexico is extremely warm, and the newest release from the NOAA is expecting landfall around 1 a.m. Thursday. All right, so it keeps getting pushed back a little bit. It's stalling. It's not really moving. It hasn't moved much. It's just been kind of sitting there, getting more powerful. All right, it's kind of a weird storm. Most of these storms, it's also very rare for them to form in the western part of the Gulf and move all the way over to the eastern side. That's also very rare to happen. They normally do not move that direction. And there's normally not enough time and enough space and enough heat. All these things, the conditions are normally not enough. There's not enough time to form a major hurricane in the Gulf in this small space before it gets to Florida, right? So this is a very anomalous hurricane. It's out of the ordinary. It's very strange. Let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think is going on? Because this thing is wild, right? Category 5 already. They're saying that it will most likely weaken a little bit, maybe to a 3 or 4 before it makes landfall here. But they're saying that the storm surge is still going to be just as bad as a Category 5 hurricane, right? That is what's being reported here, because they're saying the weakening of it before landfall could actually cause the hurricane to expand in size, right? It's very tight-knit and powerful. It's almost like a hurricane tornado right now. It's very small, compact, but very powerful, and the eye of the storm is very defined. That's what I was thinking. I know that's not an official term or anything like that, but that's what I was thinking when I saw this thing. I was like, this is like a tornado and a hurricane combined. It's very strange. And they're saying the weakening before it comes to make landfall. And it's a cone, right? So the middle of the cone is going to Tampa. But it could be anywhere, right? It could be anywhere. And there's major evacuations going on right now, right? They're expecting 3 feet of storm surge, even almost a mile in to land, right? They're saying that it could be flooded that bad. And I have family down in this area. I'm right in this area too, but I'm not right in the flood areas. But I have family right around there that's just surrounded by flood zones and flood areas, and they're right there, right? So their house will most likely be okay. It's technically not in an evacuation or flood zone, but it's right next to one, right? So everyone just stay safe, stay prepared out there. Make sure you're stocked up and prepped, and have your tanks filled, have your propane tanks filled, have your gas tanks, your water tanks, all this stuff. If stuff hits the fan, the power's out for a while, we just live in our RV for a while. Our RV we have a generator for it. We can run all of our appliances for it. We have a stove, we have a bathroom, we have a sink and everything. And we have water tanks filled up. So we can make this stuff last a while. We have propane, the fridge is off propane, the stove is propane tanks filled up. So we just live in our RV for a while whenever the power is out for a prolonged amount of time. And we've done that for years too. It's called boondocking, living off grid in your RV and just living out in the woods, right? So something to think about too, if you have an RV or a travel trailer. We have a travel trailer, actually. It's not like a motorhome or anything like that. But if you have some type of trailer or something like that, you could use this and you could evacuate with it as well too. If you're in one of these areas, you could leave, because it's going to be bad, right? You don't want to be in an RV or a mobile home, anything like that. They're issuing anyone in these areas, even if you're not in a flood zone, they're telling people you need to leave. And they have shelters all over the place too. A lot of people ask, where is there to go? Because all the hotels are booked up. The hotels are booked right now. The roads are packed right now. It's insane right now in Florida. Not even in this general area, even not in the Tampa Bay area, it's bad right now. And the hotels are all booked up too. So there's not a lot of places to go. But there are shelters. So figure out where your local shelter is too if you need to evacuate to one of these areas. And a lot of them are pet friendly or disability friendly, things like that. They have different shelters for different people. So thank you guys. Please just hit it up for me down there. It just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, staying prepared. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.